I think it's gonna work, but we won't know until we try. Kill boy. We're back into Skelecube Part 2 today. It's just time to get some silicone and start making the molds. I'm going to start with the arms because these are going to be the hardest parts to cast because they've got lots of weird angles, lots of places where bubbles can get stuck, so I want to minimize that as much as I can. So it's going to be a 2-part mold. I made half of the mold box for the right arm. I built some plasticine up around it. I haven't done one of these for a while, so I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not 100% confident in it, but I can't think of how to do it better, so let's give it a shot. Poke, 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 poke. Next step is to demold these bad boys, make the second half of this mold. Hopefully I've got enough. And then I'll have a mold for an arm and a face. I'm going to demold this faceplate, test and see if it worked. And if it looks alright, I might even get some resin and make a cast. Overall, it's not too bad looking. As you can see, that's the negative of the faceplate. I'm just going to chuck some resin in there and see what happens. It's been a long time since I've made a 2-part mold, so it's time to see if I did it right, or if this has all gone wrong and I've just wasted hundreds of dollars. So all going to plan, I should be able to pull this mold apart and get the arm out, and then I'll get to do a test to see if it actually works. Bony fingers crossed. It's filled with Vaseline, so it's really lubey, which is just great. A few bits where the silicone stuck together where I didn't want it to, but all the fingers are still on. We're okay. I think we might be good. So after a lot of fiddling around, I now have the 2-part mold for the right arm. I'm gonna do the first test pour. The first pancake, as they say, so let's gently pull the mold apart and see how we went. It's not good. It's pretty bad. Okay, so we've lost all the fingers, so that's going to be a problem to solve next time around. With each new mold, you know, you kind of got to learn the way you're going to do it, where the bubbles tend to fold, and the ways you can, you can kind of solve those problems. So it's the problem solving phase. Once I figure out how the mold works, how to fill it properly, how much stuff I need to put in it, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fine. It's probably gonna be fine. Hopefully this time we're gonna get a stronger cast. It's my freaking birthday today, so I hope this works. Okay. So it is. It's not perfect, but it's there. It's a solid hand that can be cleaned up. I think it's doable. So after a few pretty failed attempts and one semi-successful attempt at the hand, I decided I'm going to redo the mold, but rather than do the entire thing from scratch, I am going to try something I haven't done before, which is attempt to actually repair the section of the mold that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't want to brag. I drive a Mazda 3. Resin, lots to do. So here's an exciting thing that my projects have got so big and ambitious now. I've had to graduate to the 5-litre silicone tubs. May God have mercy on my soul. And my bank balance. I'm pretty sure I can get this done. Here at Cube Boy, we're all about celebrating the little victories. And I've just pulled the first resin cast of the left leg, and it's dang near perfect. At the end of today, if all goes right, I should have the first complete resin cast of Skelecube. Body, face, arms, and legs. The last thing I need to do is do the first test cast using this insanely chunky mold right here, which is the body. Now the trouble with this mold is, of course, because the body for Skelecube has these cavities, right, where the arms and the legs lock in. We've got this like corresponding like little nipples on the inside of the mold, and when I rotocast it, these aren't going to cast very well. So what I've had to do is make these little silicone, like little widgets basically, so that what I can do is I'm going to put them inside. I'm going to make I'm going to cast the outside of the cavities first before I do the rotocast. So that basically these 4 plug points are already cast. The resin is nice and thick around those areas, and then I'm going to cast the rest of the cube around them, and then it'll be one solid piece, and I don't have to worry about any parts breaking, any of the parts being too thin with the resin. I think it's going to work, but we won't know until we try. Workout time! It's important to take breaks. Alright, let's go check on this cube. I mean, it's kind of nerve-wracking doing this on camera. I guess if this doesn't work, I guess I can just always just not use this footage. It's pretty rare that I nail something on the first try. It'd be nice though. I think it worked. I think we did it. A little bit of flash, but essentially we've got a cube. Let's put this together. So here is the original. Part one is it going to stand up on its own? It stands up. It stands up on its own. That's good. Fuck! I'm so excited right now. Alright, the moment of truth. Just temporarily taped in some magnets to see if the structure of the body will hold the weight of the faceplate. This is one of the heavier ones. Yeah, fuck yeah! I've been working on this thing for so many months now, and I just kind of got a little bit overwhelmed to finally have it here in the flesh, in the bones, standing in front of me on its own, not falling over. And this is still going to have like it's still got the magnets, you know, to be sort of permanently glued into it. It's going to hold it a little bit more rigid and more together. But the fact that even without it, the thing, well, obviously the magnets are there to hold the arms in, but even without them, to see this thing sort of able to stand on its own is makes me really happy about all that I've learned about like the engineering and the balance and all this stuff, and from all the mistakes that I've made in the past with previous Cube Boy stuff, and now to have this thing standing here, and it looks fucking sick. And once they're all painted, it's gonna look so good, and the packaging is coming. It's a good day. This has been a very good day. So I'm currently out of resin, so I can't do any more casting today. So it means I had to do a boring job. I've got to clean up all of these arms. So it's a long, tedious process, but it's got to be done. So I'm going to do that today. Let's clean up some arms. I may have gone a little overboard with the spray cans, but it is time to do some spray paint tests on the Skelecube. So today I'm going to do that. I'm an actor, and I did a commercial like last year, and I got a rollover, which means that they played the commercial again, so I get paid again for it, and that is like free money, and that free money all went back to Cube Boy Collectables. So you're welcome. Also buy a Sunbeam coffee mate, because they're the best. Magnets! How do they work? I don't have proper lights set up in here yet. Oh wait, I do have a proper light. Oh, there we go. Have fun editing this footage, dickhead. Okay, I've got to come up with a better system for this. We've got some arms that need to be painted, some cubes. Over here we've got the face and body prototypes, as well as a bunch of legs that are getting half painted. We've got molds for days. So there's lots to get on with today. So let's just, I gotta get into it. Sorry, can't keep talking to a camera all day. process. Painstakingly masking off white areas so I can spray paint these shoes red. It's gonna take so long, but it's time to start. Gotta keep hustling. I'm painting like a madman, but unfortunately, the weather is pretty rainy and cold, so everything's taking a long time to dry. I'm trying to learn my lessons from when I did the Sank custom, which was be patient with painting, and I'm trying my best to do that, but I'm also trying to get everything done in time, knowing that I still have to do clear coat and everything, and give that at least 24 hours to dry, ideally like 3 days if I can. Stressful, but fun. I love this. This is good. I enjoy this. This is good. I like doing this. It's fun, and I'm having a good time. What I'm currently doing is doing a yellow wash on all of the bones, so the arms and the legs, just to make them a little bit brighter. Basically there's like an undercoat, a primer of grey, a few coats of white, some speckle of yellow to give it a little bit of an eggshell effect, a little bit of black splatter just for shadow, and now I'm just warming them up a little bit with just a yellow wash. I'm going to do a little black wash finally in all the little details just to bring out all the little nicks and stuff in the bones, and then we're getting very close to being finished. We got boxes. We got brand new boxes. I'm very excited. I'm more excited than I should be about the boxes. I've just painted these, the skulls, which is the last thing. A black wash, just to bring out all the little details and the cracks and the teeth and everything. I've made a stencil for the eyes and the little mouth grooves. I really did it with a little bit more of a clean line and just a more solid block, and I didn't really like the look because it didn't really suit the aesthetic of the rest of the limbs and the body, where it's all like a little bit messier. So I made a stencil, and I've been spraying them, and I think it looks a lot better. I've also done some dry brushing and little detailing stuff on the boxes, so as you can see, like all the corners and all the details, just to make the box look a little bit more worn. I also did like a light wash on the top and a dark wash on the bottom, just to bring out some of the highlights and shadows. All the magnets for everything have been put in. That was a difficult process because with the magnets I had to make sure that all the magnets were in the correct way, so all the body was like the negative side and all the parts that had to go in were the positive sides, and not to mix any of them up. So it was sort of labeling magnets, sort of glue on my hands, but I think it's all the right way. We'll find out soon. So the first batch of these that get released are going to come with one of these alternative faces, which are unpainted but just have fun different colorways. So if you're one of the first 5 people to buy one, you get one of these for free. Look at these little freaks. 6 of these freaks. There's going to be more. There's going to be more, probably. Unless this is a huge fail, in which case I'll probably still make more, but not as many. So this is the very complicated stencil I made to spray the eyes of the skeletons. These are the very complicated stencils that I've made to colour in the little dark areas on the jawbones, which I'll do in just a moment. I like the kind of splatter effect. It's a little bit more messy, a little bit more punk, a little bit more rock and roll, a little bit more cute boy, Yeah. I just like to do a big shout out to 3M, or whoever makes this respirator mask, which has stopped me from inhaling so much more fumes over the last week than I would have been otherwise. I still feel like I've done some brain damage, but at least it's not complete. It is well and truly the 11th hour. It's been such like a long journey. It's literally been like 6 months since I started working on this project, from the very first, initial ideas and initial sculpting, to have these things finally finished is a huge relief, and I've learned a lot, and I've used a lot of what I've been learning over the last couple of years doing Cube Boy stuff to make this thing happen. I know going forward I'm going to make, hopefully these are successful and I make more of them, and I know more efficient ways to cast them, more efficient ways to paint them, and so the next batch will be a little bit quicker to make now that I've had the experience of making these six sick bad boys. So yeah, it's exciting. It's a weird thing. I'd like to keep them. I love them so much. They're so fucking weird. But I really hope people like them. There seems to be a bit of interest in them, so hopefully these all sell over the weekend, or at least a couple of them sell over the weekend and find new homes, and spark a bit of interest on the socials and all that kind of stuff. So let's do it. See you later, boys. It's been swell. They're not moving behind me, are they? If they're moving, it's than I'm selling haunted toys, and I still will. I still will sell them, but I feel a bit bad about it. I just don't want things to break. I want people to get their Skelecubes in one piece. Alright, it took a little bit of finagling, but I think I'm finally happy with this. So basically, you open up your package, and under here you can have your arms, under there another layer of padding, and there's the legs underneath. They're all nice and safely packed in. 2 faceplates sit on top there, wrapped further than that. A little bit of sticker, instructions sheet. If you're stupid and you can't figure out how to do it, and it's quite well packed. Even if you give it a bit of a shake, nothing's really moving. I feel pretty happy with that. It feels weighty. It feels like a real thing. I think I made a real thing.